it's Claire Riley, entrepreneur. It's been a very interesting political day. I thought I'd just wait until she'd finished her speech to do my live, and it's so late because I forgot to do it, and then Edward reminded me that it was time. So if he's still awake, I hope you're watching. So it's been quite a productive day. Just keep getting a lot of messages now. And it has been good to reflect on the good and the bad. So the first thing we did was actually we met with another business to share some good practice, which was really nice. They're a lot further ahead in their journey, and it was just really, really helpful to sort of gain some insight in departments that we don't really have yet, that we're looking at creating and how that works in their business. And it's not necessarily going to work exactly the same, but there are definitely things that we can take from that. So that was really, really helpful. So that did make us reflect on our practice, things that we already do or things that we definitely should be doing in order to get more sales and things. Then this afternoon we had another meeting to implement some new policies. So we're at a point in our business now where we're just like policy central. We're doing things like that all the time. All the departments are constantly doing things, and the good thing about building the team is that you've got people in different arms now, senior managers, where you can sort of pass it over to them so that you can sort of be firing all cylinders instead of thinking about I'm only focusing on this department or whatever. They can do it for you, and then you're not as you're more 10% of the time and then 90% of the time. And that's really helpful. So that was another thing. But the main thing I wanted to talk to you about is so you might know that I'm doing a mentor program, and I got my form through which asked me loads of questions about my business. Yeah, it's a very scary thing, but I really want to do it well. So I was just looking through, and it's about marketing and things, and so it was asking me what marketing strategies had worked and what hadn't worked, basically the good and the bad. And the good thing about this kind of thing is you might not be the same as me. I don't tend to leave it to the last minute, but what I like to do is open it and have a look so that I could be doing the thinking. Because sometimes it's easier to think when it just comes to you, when you're doing other things and you're like, oh, it just comes to you. But if I didn't know what the questions were, then I couldn't help myself while I'm doing other things in my life. Whereas if I've read the questions, I suppose it's a bit like reading all the questions before you answer them in a test as well. And I think, do encourage children to do that sometimes in the reading test. Read the questions first, then read it, so that as you find it, then you can write the answer in. So it's a bit like that. So I definitely advocate reading it first, and then you've got the ideas. So it was an interesting task because I couldn't think of them all on my own. So I was asking Edward, and then I text Jill, Emily and Sian, who've sort of been there from day dot really. Well, not quite at the beginning, but really early on. What did we do that didn't work, and what did we do that worked? And part of the issue probably is that we didn't necessarily record the data correctly. So it's more like, not a gut feeling, but it's worked, but you might not have the figures on it. So I was just thinking about some of the things that we've tried. We've tried articles in magazines, we've done Facebook ads, we've done a lot of different things. We've sent pencils to schools which had personalised names on for all the members of staff. I've done Facebook Lives on the page to sort of build like a relationship with the customer. I send out emails every week, which is a bit more personalised. I kind of share things about my life and what it's like running Classroom Secrets, a bit like this now. So we've tried so much, and I think it's really good to reflect, because then you think, hang on a minute. So these didn't work well, fine, but these worked well. Why are we not doing more of that? And it does make you question yourself, which is a really good thing, to be thinking, oh, why am I not doing that? Why am I not doing more of that? So hopefully, if you do ask yourself these questions, you'll realise that there's a lot that you've done even though you can't think on your feet sometimes. I don't know. But you sort of give yourself that time to reflect and think. But it is quite an uncomfortable task, to be honest, because you don't want to remember the things that didn't work, and sometimes they are a little bit cringeworthy. But it's just one of those things you got to do. But I'm really glad I did it. It was really helpful because I'm thinking, right, okay, I know what did work. I've got some ideas now. And I'm ready to start again, because I feel like maybe I've taken a step back from that, and I'm ready to start again with what worked and what didn't work, and what can I make work this time from the didn't work list just by making a few changes and that kind of thing. So it was really helpful to go through the process. So if you're feeling like you're stagnating in a certain area of your business, then I definitely think it's a good idea to ask yourself some difficult questions like that. What works and what doesn't work in that area? And think of all the answers that you can think of, because hopefully it'll just help you come up with a plan to turn that part of the business around. And I'm going to go now. Bye.